Hi, I'm Peter Brusso here with Dick Bentley, who has been my cohort in crime on a bunch of different websites and podcasts now. And we want to do an introduction to our desert or mydesertbizgroup.com, where we're connected with the meetup. How you doing, Dick?
I'm doing quite well, Peter. How about yourself?
Doing good. Um,
That's
we've
good.
we've been in a couple of meetups together in different types of groups, and been around the block a few times. And I had started up this entrepreneur club of the desert group, and it kind of went someplace, and then it stagnated a little while. Then we got to boost it off again, and but between the experiences of this group and the 111 business group, we came up with some, I think, really great ideas. And I wanted to talk about this is going right on the front page so people can see who we are and see what we believe in. So, Dick, what are your thoughts there? You always are good with this stuff.
Well, I like you say, we've both been to a few of the networking meetup groups, and they've had various degrees of success and benefits to what our own individual goals are. But in talking with you and just kind of brainstorming, we kind of did a what if type of a scenario for what would make a really successful meetup group. And you have already developed a website for it, and we've got a little bit of content on it, and we want to take this opportunity to kind of give our philosophies of what we would like to have this group become.
Yeah, one of the things I think that has come out of it, a lot of these meetup groups you go to, not to slam base them by any means, but as you get there and everybody tries to sell you something. And as soon as you say you're not going to buy or not interested, they don't even look at you again. And it's like
Yeah.
a selling fest where when I got the entrepreneur club going, I wanted a place for us to go as entrepreneurs and small business for that matter too, where we could talk about our needs, talk about the types of things that will help us in our business, and get good counsel all the way around the table from various people and various walks of life. And I think we've started to do that. How do you feel about that, Dick?
Well, I agree. I think our meeting that we had this past Monday was an excellent meeting. It was I think, very productive. I heard some comments from people afterwards that they thought it was really good. We had a better than expected turnout, and everyone there was, really got involved and contributed to the meeting. And I think as we get to know each other a little better and we get more familiar with each other, it's only going to get better because I think we will have a better understanding of what the person is looking for, and how do we deliver it in a way that they'll be receptive to it. And I think from that, the natural evolution is everybody's going to leave the meeting feeling like they spent an hour and 15 minutes that's been very worthwhile for them. That they come out with some ideas and suggestions and items that they could take and use in their business life immediately.
One of the things that I came out with is rule number one was to try to think about everybody's business but your own. And every day you wake up and you look for people that they could meet and make those referrals where appropriate. If we just did that versus, yeah, I want to sell you this or sell you that, if we just helped each other, it would be an amazing group.
Right. I think you're right, and I think the other item that you put in there that's going to be on a regular basis is what did you learn last
Yeah.
week, and I found it interesting what people uh, thought of that they learned, and I found it interesting that some people said, well, will come back to me because they hadn't even thought about what they had learned
Yeah.
during that week. And I think, I'm as guilty as anybody of just so, well, that week is over and, don't sit down and do an evaluation of what did you do right, what did you do wrong. And I think that's a good discipline to get into. And I think that segment of the meeting is going to get people into that type of a thought process.
Yeah, I think that was really neat. I mean, usually everybody goes around and has an elevator pitch, and if we're all the same people, we all know what each other does. We don't need to waste our our time listening
Yeah.
to that again, but
Right.
rather I wanted to be able to pass on, and I've talked about this, and we're real positive people like that. What did we learn last week that somebody else might be able to use? And that's priceless. I mean, that comes right from our experience in the trenches as entrepreneurs and passing this insight to other entrepreneurs to
Yeah.
use. I think that's priceless.
Well, I do too, and I think if we couple that with kind of what's your number one issue you're dealing with in your business that we could help you with.
Yeah,
And maybe give that forum to maybe not everybody because it would go too long, but maybe two or three people. Say, hey, I am really struggling with this. I need help.
yeah,
And let the group try to pitch in.
I like that. I would rather work
Yeah.
as a group to help solve problems than to say, okay, now we're going to hear a 10-minute pitch from Peter Brusso on websites. And
Right.
and now that's not to take away the fact that if you wanted to hear a 10-minute pitch from Peter Brusso on websites, I would come to the table with telling you what the 9 stupid things people do and don't do these things, or
Yeah.
here's how
Yeah.
to get something done. Here's how to add a video to your site. Really
Yeah.
important.
Right.
And,
Right.
as opposed to, hi, I'm Peter Brusso and I do websites and your website's awful and you need to get a hold of me. That gets so
Right.
old so long. And
Well, it offends a person's ego. I think you also did something very good as your 2-minute video elevator pitch. So
yes,
everyone in the group can look at the other person's elevator pitch and know what they do.
right.
Okay, and so they don't have, like you say, we don't have to go through and say, I'm Richard Bentley, an independent associate with Legal Shield. But what if instead of the 10 minutes pitch, you said, okay, next week, 3 people, and you will pick them at random, or if you have an issue, let us know. You can have 5 minutes, and we want to say what's driving you crazy. What can the group help you with?
Right.
And I think out of that, there also may come for an opportunity for the guy says, "Geez, I'm getting sued for $8 million." I can say, "Well, I may have an answer for you," or if I have a computer problem. Out of that, there may be an opportunity for someone in the group to pitch to the guy that
Sure.
can help you out. But that's
Sure.
not the intent of it.
Right,
So,
no. And
yeah.
the other thing I liked a lot, I mean, as you go around the table, you look at the people that you've actually helped. I helped Adrian Massey get his website going, and
Yeah.
I also got him work, paid work as a photographer. And yourself, like I'm always pushing Legal Shield. I'm trying to see
Yeah.
where you might be able to get into a multiplier, and you go
Right.
around the table, social media with
Yeah.
Denise and
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on. Mark Gillone, I spent some time with him the other night with his New York life insurance stuff and seeing
Yeah.
what he's up against. Just trying to
Yeah.
understand his constraints, understand what he does,
Yeah.
understand what motivates him, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and you wouldn't think this, but what gets him excited is solving people's problems and helping them out.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that's kind of sort of
Yeah.
what you do too.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to get paid for that. Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
No, it is.
there are others that are out and about that really don't have your best interest at heart. They have their own. And I
Yeah.
think in
You're right.
time in any meetup group, those people will sort themselves out. They'll come and go. But the
Right.
people that
That's right.
stay, I think, have a good common core.
Right.
Take Mark Giardino for example. Running
Yeah.
PalmSpringsSport.com, and
Right.
I've jumped in and helped him do landing pages to increase his traffic because
Yeah.
in that world, it's all about traffic. The 3 things to remember about a website is traffic, traffic, and traffic. And if you've got
Right.
traffic, that means banner ads are worthwhile. You can sell stuff, but without traffic, you can't sell anything. So
Right.
we've been focused on driving traffic into his site, qualified traffic, mind you, not just any traffic, qualified traffic. And so now, I think
Yeah.
as a result of some of the things I've done and helped counsel him, he now has a viable business to go get subscription models from and get off and running.
Oh, I know. I was sitting next to him, and he was really excited about what the work you've done with him and the results he's getting. I'm really excited. He feels like he's off and running now. So
And
it
what
was,
did I charge
he's
him?
quite
What did I
pleased.
charge him for that, Dick? Zip.
Nothing.
And that's what I think part
No,
of the
you
club
didn't
is all
charge me
about.
anything either.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's part
yeah,
of what the club's all about. The
yeah,
club is there to try to
yeah.
help people where you can,
Right,
And
right.
I'm by the way interested in your product. I just have to decide,
Yeah,
whether it's a small
yeah,
business writer or the small business group. I
yeah,
think that every
yeah,
small business and every entrepreneur needs some counsel to stand behind them. You
yeah.
never know when things are going to go really, really bad, and that's going to cost you a
Uh,
boatload of
uh,
money. So it's always a good thing to
right.
have And I've been familiar with Legal Shield for some time. As a matter of fact, you're
Yeah,
sponsoring as an independent
yeah,
associate. You're sponsoring our site to help
yeah.
offset the
Right,
cost some, and that's a good thing.
right. Yep.
So now you mentioned the 2 minute elevator pitch. One of the things I thought would be really wild when I sat back and I looked at another group that we belong to, you know, they have a category requirement. In other words, if you're in like websites and I'm there a certain amount of time, no other person that does websites can come in. I never liked that idea. There's
Right,
more than enough room for all of us, period. And some people will like another person's demeanor over another and prefer that. And why arbitrarily restrict your market down like that, or the people you can help or do business with? So
right,
we don't have any categories. That,
right,
from a meetup standpoint, shakes some people up. But as I said before, like in webs, well, like we can have attorneys. Attorneys have different specialties. Legal
right,
Shield, you're in there. I mean,
right,
we can have other legal individuals in there. Web guys, I do webs, I do podcasting, I do a bunch of stuff. They may not do podcasting, and therefore I have an immediate opportunity to work with that person and get him some extra cash flow on myself too, doing podcasts for his existing clients. So that whole idea of just shutting people down, I never liked that, and I've actually asked you to become the co-host of our group, and I think that both of us feel it. There's enough room for everybody. How do you feel about that?
Well, I couldn't agree more. As we've mentioned, I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield, and on every Wednesday night we have a group of Legal Shield independent associates that meet, and it ranges anywhere from 7 to 12. And we're all in the Coachella Valley. We're all trying to sell the same product to the same area, and we sit around and discuss and look at ways of how we can all benefit, how we can grow, and so rather than looking like I'm in business for myself, but not by myself, and that's one of the things that Legal Shield stresses is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I would like our group if to have the members feel like they may be either an independent business person or part of a small business, but that the whole group is in business with each other to make them successful.
Right.
And I don't have a problem if there's another Legal Shield person or a lawyer or someone selling identity theft. I don't care. I'm going to learn from them. They're going to learn from me, and
Right.
I think we only get better because of it.
Our real job is to help
So,
everybody around that table be successful, and we see them.
right.
Now we're going to go to every 2 week meetings, but
Yeah.
we're going to
Right.
see them become successful. And you know what? They're
Right.
gonna they're gonna be extremely excited to offer our services to other people as well because we help them. Frankly,
Yes.
I think. Well, if we go back to social media, for example, why is it so powerful? Well, you can put out an ad, or people can ask you, "Oh, gee, Dick, who do you have anybody that does websites really well?" And
Right. Yes.
I can put out an ad, but that peer recommendation that would come from you, 95% of the time it's taken. And so
That's right.
that's gold all over it. And so I can
That's
guarantee
right.
you that when Adrian Massey runs into somebody that needs a website bigger than what he can do, because I taught him how to do them, or
Yeah.
podcasting or something, he's going to be right
Yeah.
there talking about me.
Right.
And the same
That's
thing
right.
with Legal Shield. If we know you want to meet
Yeah.
businesses, you have some great products, and a lot of companies have no idea. I
Yeah.
didn't actually have any idea until we got talking about it again, but
Yeah.
that was important. So the other thing
Yeah.
that I want to bring up too that you brought up was the 2 minute elevator pitch. Um,
Mhm.
I got thinking, okay, so if you go to the meeting every other week in our case, in the 111 business group meeting, it's every week. you only see the same people you saw the week before, so to speak. You might get one extra, one minus one. The influx is pretty small, and but yeah, there's a lot of great people and a lot of great companies in that group. And so I said, hey, why don't we? I got a thought for us first. Why don't we do a chunk of video for each person? And do it well enough that they could actually send it around themselves or put it in their emails, and so people can really see what they're talking about, what they have to offer. And we started that this last week, and I thought that was pretty cool. How do you see that going on?
Well, I thought was more than cool. I thought it was innovative. I've been involved for about a year now with these meetup groups, and it's the first I've even heard it discussed, and never mind done. And like I say, it gives me the opportunity to watch everyone's video in rather than in a restaurant, at home, and fully understand what their business is, what they're looking for, and all, and then I know what everybody's doing. Rather than having business cards somewhere in a drawer or something, I can just bring this up, say, "Geez, I know just the guy for you," and refer him to it. And I think that that helps everyone get familiar with who they're dealing with, because you go to these meetings, and depending on which end of the table you sit and all, and how much it's rotated around, sometimes you talk to the same people, and there's people other end you get to. So this is to avoid that.
Right, you broke up there a little bit, but I think basically what you said was that, depending upon where you sit, you see the same things each week.
Right.
Yeah, or
Right.
not. But no, it's my internet connection, Dick, not you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and hopefully one of these days we're going to get that working better. My God. So, for a podcaster and a guy that works on the internet to have
Yeah.
slow internet kills
Yeah.
me. At any
Yeah.
rate, yeah,
Yeah.
I think once we get the site blossomed out with our 2 to 4 minute elevator pitches so people can see our members and see a face, a name,
Yeah.
and their product connected to all of that. That's going to be really powerful for them.
Right.
And I hope that
Yeah.
I'm going to send this to ahead to the people who own Meetup. Now,
Yeah.
maybe they ought to. Maybe I get my coffee refreshed here. Maybe they ought
Yeah.
to, even with a bigger cup now too,
Yeah. Yeah.
and maybe they could offer these kinds of, well, maybe not the service per se, but the bandwidth to put them up there.
Right.
But I
Right.
think I think it's a wild idea to take a group and make our own website. We have our own Facebook page. We're going to get active with that. And
Right.
then when we put our elevator pitches up on YouTube, they're out everywhere. And so
Right.
somebody may run into them and say, hey, even though they're not in my local area, they're going to want to do Legal
Yeah.
Shield with you, and you have the right to
Yeah.
do that anywhere in the United
Yeah.
States and Canada, right?
Right. Yeah. 49 states and four
Four
provinces of
provinces.
Canada. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And now, what
Yeah.
other Legal Shield person do you know is doing stuff like that? I don't know any by myself, but
None that I'm aware of. No.
right.
None that I'm aware of.
And
So,
I think that whole concept of having a chunk of video connected to your
yeah.
emails that go out, even if you
Yeah.
cold call people or cold
Sure.
email them on the way in, they can see you, they can see your product in the privacy of
Right.
their own internet space,
Right. Absolutely.
and see what you have to offer. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited by this whole concept, and I think some of the
Yeah.
guys and girls, actually, their businesses, they talk about them. Well, I want to do float over pictures. Can you imagine Charles Greenberg, who's our resident,
Yeah.
your travel agent,
Yeah.
our travel agent? Matter of fact, did I send that over to you, Dick? I asked him to think of 10 podcasts. Did I send that over to you?
No, I don't think so.
Phenomenal
I don't think
stuff
so.
the guy
No.
came
Yeah.
up with. Anyway,
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
read this laundry list of
Yeah.
really cool topics for his travel podcast,
Yeah. Yeah.
we were asking, does he have pictures that we can float over and illustrate the difference
Yeah.
between a river cruise, a luxury cruise, and a regular
Oh, wow.
cruise, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, he's got some great topics. Wait till you see it. I'll email that over to
Yeah.
you. But
Oh, great.
it's
Yeah.
a
Great.
phenomenal thing. So I meant when we do these elevator
Yeah.
pitches, we might also be able to do float overs of pictures
Wow.
and product and
Yeah.
logos and get real
Yeah.
fancy with it downstream.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
miniature pitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an elevator pitch
Absolutely.
that'll look
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things I really like too, some pitches from companies. I mean, they all have to be super professional, but sometimes it's back to the local butcher. Why do we do business with the local guy? He actually be
Right.
even more expensive than a big chain store, but it's that personal connection you have.
Right.
He cuts things a little differently. He thinks about you, and that kind of stuff, and that
Yeah.
kind of sort of going back to the old way of doing
Yeah.
business is what we're doing. We're kind of wrapping all the way back around now to kind of going back to the way we do business,
Yep.
old time,
No, that's right.
you know.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
um, what do you have any more thoughts before we kind of bring this to
Well,
a close?
well, Peter, as we've been talking, a thought did come to my mind. As far as the group and the mission statement for the group and all, I'd like everybody that becomes a member to feel like we're their board of directors,
Good
and we
point.
have expertise in a lot of different areas.
Hmm.
And if they need help, come in as they would in a board meeting, which I sat in many board meetings. Present to the board, hey, I need help in this area. What can you guys do to help me? So I'd like I'd like it almost to function mentally wise, not actual wise, but mentally like everybody to think, well, I'm going to go to my meetup meetings. I'm going to go to my board of directors meeting.
Right.
I don't, as an independent businessman, I don't have any board of directors other than you're my my main advisor. But let's just try to get that feeling amongst the group.
That's a good point. I mean, even to the point where we did your business cards, and
Right.
we sat down and designed them. I love them. Do you have one
Yeah.
available? Can you hold one up? Do you have one?
Yes. Yes, I
I
do.
almost put one up on the website. This is from Vistaprint. I was really, really happy and shocked at the quality that Vistaprint, not that they wouldn't do quality, but no, hold it straight up, 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 and back away a little bit. There you go. There, perfect.
Okay.
And then
This is the front.
yep, and then flip it around there. Yep, and move it to your left. There you go. We even put the cue card, your other left, Dick.
Yeah.
There you go. And yeah, we even put the QR code on the back like
Yeah.
that. Okay, thanks, Dick. That's good.
Right.
And so you didn't have one at the time that was that good, and so we just sat down and we designed it and put it out there. And what, a week later or week and a half later,
Yeah.
we had cards.
Well, that's a great point. Because I was saying to you, I got to get business cards, and I wanted some different things. And I said, well, come on out, we'll design one. We did it in about 20 minutes. Ordered them at $50 later. I got my cards in, and they're as professional as you could
They're
imagine.
really
There was
nice.
some Vistaprint.
They're
Yeah.
really
and
nice.
and yeah, they are. And I think if we can get that mentality, when somebody says, "Hey, I need business cards," or "Geez, I really could use a pamphlet made up," or whatever, it's something that the group can help them develop it and produce it, even if need be. But the main thing is develop it correctly.
Right, and there
And
is a
again, I
lot.
think if they feel like walking in, hey, I'm going to go talk to my board or my board of advisors or whatever term you want to use, I think that would get spirit of the direction.
You broke up on the last one. Say that sentence again.
I said, I think that will get the spirit of the group in the right direction
Absolutely,
if
and
people come in with that mentality.
yeah, absolutely. And so I really am excited with the concept that we're really here to help. And
Right.
what do people need? And of course, the obvious answer: we all need more referrals and more customers, so to speak. But that's not quite what I mean. But
No.
we'll do that too. But what do you need?
Well, Peter, if someone comes in and they need more customers, they need more referrals, everybody needs that. But if we all get together and we help solve the basic issues and blocking and tackling, they're going to get more customers. They're going to get more things, and it is going to be outside of the world of the meetup group, because there's only 15 or so people. So what if you sold every one of them? What are you going to do next month or next week?
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of the old proverb. teach them, give the man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever.
Right.
I think we have to help each other. My main concern is always getting more contacts, more exposures, and someone can help me say, "Geez, I know a great way of getting some." Then that helps me. That's kind of the spirit that I would like to see in the group.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that. This last meeting was
Yeah.
just superb.
Right.
Everybody
Right.
participated. Everybody was
Right.
excited.
Right.
I don't think anybody individually sold anybody anything or tried to.
No.
It was just really
No.
all about what do you need to be successful? What can we do?
Right.
Let's brainstorm it
Right.
together. It's almost like a mastermind organization.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So super. All
Maybe
right.
that should have been the name of it. The
Oh,
Desert Biz Masterminds.
you. Yeah, maybe. I think there was a
Yeah. But,
mastermind group out here at one time. I ran
I'm sure
across
there was.
I ran across one,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so they're definitely out here. But
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh, yeah.
still struggling with our meetup website.
Yeah.
That's
No.
that's not easy to use. Let me tell you.
Right. Yeah.
They must think it's easy, but boy, and I do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff, and it's still not easy for me.
Yeah. I mean, for you to say that, it has to be
It has
hard.
to
Yeah.
be there has to be
Yeah.
something wrong with that. But they're going to
Right.
get better, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Not to beat them up by any means, but I mean they certainly do
No.
provide an
No.
awfully good service
Right.
to a lot of people,
Yeah.
and they
Right.
have a good model for a small amount of money. You
Yeah.
can really start to push stuff out there,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's good.
Yep.
And by the way, I wanted to mention this. I think you saw that, but if when I was doing some research for on Charles Greenberg for his travel agency, I went
Yeah.
out there and did Charles Greenberg travel, and what pops up are two senior scam podcasts in position one and
Yeah.
two
I
for
saw
him.
those.
Wow.
Yeah. That's great.
Wow, does video
Yeah.
work or what?
Yeah.
That's
He
great.
sure does.
And so on
Yep.
our site too, we're going to also include. We have a podcast page that will be. I'll be including podcasts that I think the group would like to see, and
Yeah.
and maybe downstream we'll actually be doing podcasts, long
Right.
podcasts with our individuals, not just
Yeah.
the 2 minute elevator pitch kind of thing,
Right.
so we can really start to understand who they are, and then that
Right.
becomes really valuable for them. I think.
Yep.
Invite
Absolutely.
them on our show,
Absolutely.
or do them live.
Yeah.
Or do them live
Yeah.
in situ.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dick.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about the
Uh,
site?
no, I think that's pretty much it. I think we covered what we hope and desire and work towards having our Group E.
I do
So
too,
I'm all set.
and I hope people come and join us, and they'll see that we're real people, really trying to help them too.
Right.
So, all right, Dick. Thanks, and I'll see you on the site, and I'll see you in the meetups.
Okay. Take care.
All right,
Have
Dick.
a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, bye.